Oh, a double stun leads to the crush, leads to the first blood. Vega, get it. Oh, what a fortunate coconut coming out for SEMA.
And this is 5JuNGz kind of out of their comfort zone. They love to have JerAx just able to roam around, apply pressure anywhere on the map, but because of the aggro trialing, he's stuck in this top lane. It's like, well, I mean, he theoretically can roam, but that would mean Matumba Man gets no farmed. It means that Kuro's likely just to die again and again because he needs that backup from the Yoga Magi, and I like this approach from Vega, where it's like, let's force JerAx to not do what he does so well, which is just roam around, find kills, contest runes, and just be disruptive by going for an aggro tri-lane. And we will see him still look to head towards runes, but it's going to be SEMA getting there first, and JerAx still just hovering around this top lane, looking to protect Matumba Man's farm.
Yeah, it's a play style that you can tell he's not comfortable with. You know, his best is being able to be out there and be a nuisance, but as you said previous, if he goes out there, and that leaves this lane very little to be desired for 5JuNGz. And already you can see the second Matumba Man tries to step in and get some early CS. He's going to get hit with the poison touch. That's Dazzle showing that this is definitely going to be an aggressive lane, not building into your typical defensive skill. He's going to go with the extra slow potential here. They don't get the luck of the secondary coconut bounce, but Vega are going to be forcing 5JuNGz to not play their typical game of Dota.
And now that this lane is lost, this is where you actually do say, JerAx, just go roam and go find the lane where you can add the most value, because they're not going to win this lane by sticking to a 3v3 lane. We may see someone like I would say a rotation towards bottom and trying to get a kill on Ember Spirits, most likely. Ganking a Brood, hard to do. I guess they've got the Sentry, but it's still a very quick Brood when you're in that web for the bonus movement speed. So JerAx is about to hit level 3. He's picked up boots in the smoke on Kuria. So I think him and Kuro may just go for a gank and leave Matumba Man just to leech XP, because no amount of support is going to win you this top lane. So there's no point leaving Matumba Man and Kuro there to achieve nothing. Maybe Kuro stays. It looks like JerAx can go for a solo gank, and Kuro and Matumba Man going to just pull and jungle a little bit, which is a fine option. JerAx, as a solo ganker, probably headed bottom lane, since he can't really kill Brood without the chain stun from Lina.
Well, we were curious about the matchup mid lane, and it seems to be one that Razor does pretty damn well in, Gods. 30 and 8 CS to Mag's 10 right now. Uh-oh, he does run into trouble here. It's a Vega rotation of supports as they're able to kind of cut off Fata going for the rune here. They got plenty of slow. Mag looking to get involved, drops down the web, looking to cut him off at the front here, and it looks like with one more right click, not going to happen. Kuro gets off a stun, but the Centaurs show up and they say, stop fighting in our front yard.
Bottom lane, meanwhile.
And they take out Fata. Bottom lane, they're looking to go in for mind control here, but now comes JerAx from behind. He's going to get the ignite onto no one. And mind control returns. He bottles up, gets the fissure stun. Double chains, though, comes out from no one. And he's going to be able to make it out to safety.
He cut that close there. If that totem stun hit him, it would have been another kill. The fissure a bit off, and a rotation no one knew was coming. JerAx actually didn't use his smoke. I was a bit questioning. Like, he just rotated through the jungle, picked up a rune by a Radiant Observer Ward, so no one knew he was coming, yet still played very aggressively. So I think he's a bit lucky to live there, considering he even had the vision of that gank. But I guess all's well that ends well for Vega, which is no kill onto the Ember Spirit, and I guess Razor goes down. Even if they don't get the last hit, it's still a death to the Razor's name.
Bavata's back, and he's planted a new sentry here. Part of the reason why he's able to kind of control this mid lane so well, and that continues to be a bit of a problem here for Mag, though he's given the
39, 11 denies. A lot of those will be those little spiderites, but they give a decent chunk of gold, and you see almost full level advantage going Fata's way.
Uh-oh, they're going for no one bottom lane. Led in early. There's going to be the fissure, and he is going to go down. JerAx, again, not needing to use the smoke. The two of them are able to get the lockdown, and the Ember will be dropped. 1-1 now, as 5JuNGz are going to be able to even things up. And now we'll see as Fata could be in some potential trouble. Look who's sneaking in from behind. It's a little solo Dazzle here. And from the front, they're going to get the coconut. There's the poison touch. Fata looking to go for the TP, and he's gone. They have no extra disable. He's back in Fountain. He will heal up and be A-okay.
Closer than I expected with that heal bomb, but still nice, smart move from Fata. Just going for the insta TP. He's just so tanky now. He's gone for an early Belt of Giant Strength. He's just looking to get as much survivability as possible.
He's trapped, but does he know he could sprint and get out of this little corner here? It does not look easy yet. Has it now, as he tries to charge in for Kuro. Will run right through these creeps. But he actually doesn't turn the correct way. But it might be for the better, as JerAx is there.
He just wants to run now, it seems.
Yeah. Help is nearby, but Solo has yet to put a point into Grave, so if things get too hairy, they won't have that little bit of a saving grace. And they'll step back into farm after Pasha will pop up a heal, and everything will go back to a bit neutral here. But as far as CS goes, still Fata King, 49 and 12. Big amount of an advantage here over Mag. So how long does this Broodmother stay here? Is it similar to like your old Death Prophet DK, where you're here until hopefully this Razor decides to go elsewhere and you take the tower and continue to move forward? Or does he take this level advantage of having a solo lane and go elsewhere with it?
Yeah, I don't feel like they're getting much value from the Brood right now. It's just Fata holding his own mid. He has to TP out or like play defensive when a dual support gank comes, and they don't even get a kill. So if anything, I feel like this Brood pick is just not giving Vega a whole lot, and they're getting aggressive again at the top lane. I think they're going to try force the Razor off the lane by going for kills in top and bottom. They can rotate heroes towards bottom and pressure the Earthshaker. They can pressure this top tier 1 tower, and they're kind of trying to make Razor leave this mid lane, although I don't think Fata really has much interest. They'd rather give up the top tier 1 tower than give Brood space to snowball.
Ooh, double rotation is going to be coming here. Mind Control shows up first, gets off a fissure, and there's the Razor. Fata's going to be here in time for what looks like a pick on the Witch Doctor. Almost able to make it away with the TP, but they do get the Razor out from the lane. And Mag is like, this is my chance, let's go. He's in there at the Broodmother, sees if he can get some early harassment onto the tier 1, but just as Fata steps out, looks like Matama Man could sweep in and take over, at least for the meantime, on some solo farm.
A lot of spiderlings there. Matama Man needs to be a little bit careful, but Razor's back. So you get a kill top, you swing back mid, and all Brood got was like one uncontested creep wave and a rune.
Yeah, not enough for Vega. Certainly not. Plus, losing their support just makes it all for nil, unfortunately. No one's back at bottom lane farming up, but mid lane, Mind Control.
I think the big turnaround for Vega can start happening when Ember Spirit gets a few more levels. You're looking at level 7 now, but you want the point of even the 1 point in Sleight of Fist to give you that longer range initiation, so Ember will start looking to come to fights like we saw at top.
A commitment onto JerAx here. Revenant forward with the chain. Solo's going to come out from the woods and pops him with a poison touch here. Mind Control will slow down no one with a bit of a fissure, and JerAx looking to turn the corner, eating his the tree straight north here. This Ogre, so tanky, 8 armor. Didn't you know? Oh, but Mind Control drops down a serious Echo Slam right now. They're going to be able to take out the Dazzle, and they're going to get the Ember. Almost a double kill there for Mind Control, but the first one is going to go to Kuro, but it's 2 kills all day here in the bottom lane for 5JuNGz.
Yeah, Shaker just doing so well with as far as experience goes more than anything, and he's going to have a decent time. Blink Dagger at this rate, Arcane Bottle, and 600 gold already. He's level 8, and that's just a lot of points in Fissure. He got 2 early points in Totem and Aftershock for the lane stage, but has gone back for Fissure now, and he's been a big playmaker for 5JuNGz.
Mag with very little mana now.
Double Revenant, triple Revenant bottom. They're on Mind Control.
Going all in for Mind Control here, and it looks like it will pay off. Kuro shows himself, and he's got Laguna, and he's not afraid to use it. Takes out the Witch Doctor, and now it's Kuro on the run. A little bit of burn damage from the Flame Guard, but he's fast. Yeah, he's good. Be able to edge away from trouble. Before the action broke out, you know, it is obviously a different item build-up for even Mag in this mid lane. No usual Soul Ring. For now, he holds off a Morbid Mask here, taking advantage of that unique attack modifier. He is going to get scouted out, though, with the Dust as JerAx does sweep in. Him and Fata looking to commit for a big dive, and they're going to be rewarded as they take out Mag. Pasha rotates in, gets off the crush. Fata, eating damage even from the tower here, will go down. Mag from the grave gets the last hit and gets his own bit of redemption, and now they want more. Yeah, looks like JerAx is going to get cut off. No one shows up, and he gets off a stun, and the Sleight of Fist is going to get him down. A 2-for-1 trade. The other way now is it's Vega who are going to get the better of it.
Yeah, that's not the dive to go for. They were always going to have to dive underneath the tower to get that kill, and that just plays into Pasha's hands too easily with the TP in with the Slatter. And he didn't have the blink yet, but you know it's coming soon, and even without the blink, he still managed to turn around, get 2 kills, even though he doesn't save Brood's life there. So blink now online. Slatter gonna really become a bigger menace for 5JuNGz. So I'd say, considering how hard Razor was winning the mid lane before that, completely unnecessary aggression, and it's actually Brood ahead on farm now after that little play.
Fata bottom lane. Looks like he's ready to play here. At least go for a tier 1. Vega not really looking to respond. They have the majority of their squad up by this mid lane here, even smoked. It looked like they were considering a go at bottom, but they're going to use this momentum to instead punish Kuro in the mid lane, who seems to be alone. Will they rotate to help him? That won't matter. He goes down so fast. Pasha leading in, shows off his new Blink Dagger, and will take down the Lina. We look to back at bottom here, if the 5JuNGz are going to commit forward or not, and it looks like not. We'll rotate on through the woods here and see if they can get a catch out onto anyone of Vega, but looks like Vega are going to be slipping away. And are they going to read the situation, gods? 5JuNGz could be caught out from both sides here in this bottom rune area if not careful. It looks like Solo is going to be going on as he goes on Matama Man. No one up in arms with Fata. Fata is going to get crushed here from Slither, and oh, he turns back. Static, but look at this Death Ward coming out from Seema the Slayer. Gets Jarek's pretty low, but not low enough. Continues to run. A man on the loose here. Jarek's looking to go in for the TP. Do they have a stun? They have a chain. So he's going to be stopped. He goes down. Back on the other side. 5JuNGz still want to engage. Fata dances forward. Pasha eating some chunk of damage. Look at that. Going in. Mag going to get dunked on here from Mind Control. Still alive and well. Lead and crush. Going to be a swing and a miss from Fata. As Fata will be able to escape. Woo! Chaos breaking out. Only one going down at the end of it, gods. That being Jarek's.
Yeah, and this is where the mobility of Vega really shows. They've got the Ember Spirit and the Blink on Slardar, two heroes that can just chase down kills constantly, play and execute so well in these just split up fights where 5JuNGz just don't have the same ability to kind of maneuver around, finish off kills that an Ember Spirit does have. And even a Brood, similar story. You're in a web, you get ridiculous movement speed, you've got the nuke for the finishing blow, and the nature of the 5JuNGz lineup is very much like they want to kind of stick together more as five. Fata on the Razor, not a hero where you just want to go solo to a lane. You can't go solo to lanes anymore against the Slardar Ember Spirit, so they're forced more to 5-man.
Pasha now, they're looking to get away after taking down Matama Man, but it looks like it could cost him his own life. Soul's able to get off a little bit of an earn here, but Fata able to catch him there. No one. Shows himself on the side. It looked like 5JuNGz were considering a go onto him. They don't have the Laguna anymore. And no Echo Slam. I think 5JuNGz are just going to have to take the one pick off, but it's a solid pick off. The top of the net worth there for a while, and Slaughter will now be brought down a peg.
Yeah, unfortunately, lost their Lycan in the process. It was another return kill there, and they stick around bottom lane. It will lead to Mag getting this mid-tier 1. It's just been eyeballing for a long, long time.
Long time. Let's pick up the medallion recently here, but Jarek's not going to be able to get it. Vega will pick up the tower gold on that one, and 5JuNGz will have to regroup.
To me, one of the big things is Mind Control. What looked like a decent timing Blink, he had these items he's sitting on now and 600 gold. It felt like 4 minutes ago. He hasn't actually progressed. I think he picked up the Magic Wand perhaps since, but been very much limited item progression coming out from Earthshaker, who definitely wants a decent timing on the Blink.
Vega on the move now, smoked up. Look like they're going to come in for a flank towards the mid lane. Fata's there first. Does show himself after putting out the nuke, and they're looking to cut him off here, and they'll get him with the chains, they'll get him with the crush. A Death Ward even committed for this, and the Razor will go down. Vega come up with a pretty successful pick. Is this enough ammunition to make a move into the Roche? They have Pasha with the amp damage here. It looks like they're going for it.
Oh, and going back to like physical damage just all over the place for Vega. This should be a quick, easy Roshan. They get up the high ground cliff ward. They sentry it as well to make sure there's no dive vision, and nothing 5JuNGz can do. It was immediately pinged out and circled by Kuro, but it happens too quick.
You're just going to have to trade what they can on the side if possible here, but Roche is already down. Top tier 1's pretty low. Can they glyph it and rotate? They glyph it. No rotation to come, but they want to play it safe. Matama Man will step all the way back and not commit for the tower takedown. Mid lane, Kuro. Mag, the Brood Mama, looking for a sweet treat. Kuro tries to go for a stun, and oh man, he almost just took him down in 5 shots.
That was a nice dodge on the LSA with the Spiderlings too, but not quite enough to bring him down.
Vega now in control of the Aegis, can control the pace of this game, and gods, is the pace keep moving forward. It looks like it is, at least on the bottom lane.
They want to fight while Lycan's very weak. There's
Yes.
nothing Lycan can offer apart from split push to this dire side, so unless Vega feel like they're getting beaten in the split push game, okay, they do feel that way.
was a quad remnant, it looked like here, going in from Matama Man, who's going to be forced to shapeshift. No chains, though, in the midst of too many creeps. But hey, a long ball coconut allows the follow-up crush from Pasha, and that will lead to the takedown of Matama Man. And look at this, out on the other side, Mind Control is going to get a returning pick for 5JuNGz as they take down the solo Dazzle. Mid lane, though, Mag. Not going to commit.
I was worried about Mind Control's blink timing. He gets that kill. I think he must have got like a bunch of Spiderlings or something as well, because he's suddenly on 2k gold.
Okay.
Just out of nowhere. 14 minutes in, he had 700 gold. Now he's got the blink dagger. Okay.
Serious Dota inheritance money coming out from his Earthshaker grandmother passing? I don't know, but he's all of a sudden into a wealth of gold, and he'll be able to pick up the blink right now. Yep. Thank you very much. All right, so something here for Vega to be a bit concerned with, but Mind Control will continue to probably hide in the dark. He thinks he's hiding in the dark, though there's a ward nearby that saw him the whole time. So Vega, we're clicking on him. They will know he has the blink. And it looks like for Vega, they are scouting out this mid lane. Pasha waiting, now level 11, putting that amp damage into negative 15 armor now. It's a whooping if he's able to get someone.
Yeah. The armor game is just all on Vega's side this game. They're going to find another pick off.
Coconut, Death Ward, tries to Bloodlust with the extra move, the speed to make it away, and he goes right to Mag, which is going to get the easy KS right there. Kuro now trying to run away. Dishes out the Slave. There's going to be the chains and soon to be the kill. He's got a Laguna, but he doesn't want to blow it there. We'll hold it for probably his next life if necessary. Vega are going to be walking away with a two-man pickoff.
Yep. And it's going to be for some time where Matama Man can't really fight. He can, if he's got shapeshift, he can show up and try and clean up a kill or two, but he never wants to be there at the start of a 5v5 engagement, because fighting into the minus armor or the Slaughter stuns is just a bad idea.
Crush onto Matama Man here, and he's just going to start muscling him down, gets a convenient bash. That allows time for no one to show up. Mind Control tries to help out, but it's a little too late. And Matama Man's going to be put in check once more in this Lycan. I don't know when the time's going to come. It just feels like, as it stands right now, Gods, he is a non-factor in this game.
It's very much talked about like the last pick where they wanted a fighting carry, and I was surprised by the anti-mage ban. I just felt like for the draft, 5JuNGz had no way to get away with a greedy last pick farmer. Lycan, to me, is fairly greedy in that he needs a lot of space items to come online. Same for an anti-mage. It felt like they need something much more early game oriented to fight into Vega's lineup, and we're seeing it here. 18 minutes in, there's nothing Matama Man offers on Lycan. Especially when you've already got the Razor, who needs a decent amount of farm. The way Fata plays is normally more farm intensive, likes to sack the jungle, farm multiple camps at once, even use the ultimate to farm, so there's just not enough room for what 5JuNGz are trying to do.
Potentially in the works here. Could get the catch onto two, and will do so. Solo and Pasha going to get locked down. A beautiful setup from Mind Control. Will pop the Aegis there. They also are going to get the cleanup on the Witch Doctor. Dazzle has to buy back. A follow-up Laguna on the second life will take out Pasha. And 5JuNGz now on the run, looking to get anything they can. The Dazzle buyback could lead to a dieback here, and will. He's going to get chomped to bits here. Needs to get the Grave off. Will get it off in the last second, but now he doesn't have a TP to make it away. Mag is just going to have to sit there and watch his friend go down. It's a Kuro. Double kill. And a dieback for the Dazzle. A huge boost right now for the 5JuNGz, and they're going to continue to follow it up with now an objective in this mid lane.
Well, you're struggling to fight, but then your opponents just give you an incredible blink echo. Dazzle should not be standing where he was standing at mid. He should never be getting caught in the echo slam next to a Slaughter. Slaughter is your front liner with an Aegis. Great. His positioning wasn't bad. Dazzle standing next to him can't happen. That should never happen in that scenario there for Vega. There is no reason Solo should have been where he was standing, and that snowballed into a terrible team fight for Vega. They lost the Witch Doctor as well to the Razor. Then Dazzle dies back, as if Solo hadn't messed up the fight enough already. He buys back, dies again, and suddenly we're looking at like a 6,000 gold swing or something ridiculous, because that was a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was Vega underestimating how 5JuNGz could just quickly get everyone together in that mid lane. Because for a while, it showed they had seen Fata in the top lane split pushing. They saw two-man split push on the bottom lane to get that tier 1. But once they started getting out of vision and they were able to finish off that tier 1 bottom lane, it was a quick rotation back to the mid lane. And you'd figure by then they would Vega would get themselves in a better position to prepare for a defense, but they were still just there kind of chunking down at tier 2, and that's when the Echo comes in, and that's when Vega lose a lot here. At a game when they had a pretty commanding lead into the mid-game period, that lead's now gone, and we're back even, if not an advantage for 5JuNGz now. But here we go. Vega looking to reclaim that advantage. They go smoke. They're on the prowl here, but Fata's already on the way out.
And he's pretty swift now with an SMY picked up. Just looking for stats and movement speed.
Tama man, got to get spotted, gets the wolves out, but the crush already comes, a death ward and everything, and your lycanthrope has been neutered.
So that's the kind of plays that they need to be making here, and just get the quick pick off. Focus on sieging the tower. Like, have the support from the back lines and the cores in the front, looking for those initiations, which they'll find once more. Kuro.
Lots of damage for Kuro. He's still able to get the Laguna off and slave onto Pasha before he does go down. But still, nonetheless, it's another takedown for Vega. And they have the sustain. They'll quickly heal up the Slardar. Top lane, though. A lot of pressure, so no one is going to be forced to rotate and help out. Is it still just more urgency from Vega to just take advantage while they can, while this Lycan is just not able to be a Lycan? Is that Vega's timing window to just keep pushing, or are they still somewhat comfortable with taking this relatively late, given they have an Ember Spirit?
I think the playstyle suits them. Like, they can keep on fighting as they take it late, because it means Lycan's not farming. Even if you're kind of trading even, like that previous fight was a big swing going 5JuNGz way, but all that led to was Lycan completing his tread. So by forcing Lycan to like, the only way 5JuNGz have like a good team fight is if Lycan comes, use shapeshift and gets involved, which means he's not farming, he's not catching up. So I think fighting is a good way to play this game.
Commitment of a Blink Echo possibly on Pasha if they felt necessary, but they're going to scout the Witch Doctor from behind. Mind Control still commits in. There's going to be that Echo, but a Grave comes out, and Pasha looks to use it to hopefully get a quick pick on the Kuro. Misses the crush, will go down as the Grave expires, and Solo, who's kind of chasing him to help out, will be the follow-up kill for 5JuNGz. Just as Vega are able to string together a couple of kills, 5JuNGz continue to have a response themselves.
That was a really quick response from 5JuNGz. It was like the fight happened at the mid tier 2 tower where Vega got a couple pickoffs, took the tier 2. They then backed off. Ember TP's top, Mag stays around mid / the jungle, and 3 heroes alone bottom with no potential for an Ember Spirit rotation, and 5JuNGz just beelined at bottom. They said these heroes are alone, Ember TP top, Ember cannot get here. And without Ember, that was a great fight for 5JuNGz to take. They were so quick to move bottom that Vega just weren't ready for it.
5JuNGz are not going to be able to follow it up with any sort of objective, though. It looks like they'll push the lane in a bit and then step off finally. And Matama Man will just go back to his farm of Ancients here. His Lycan is still trying to play a bit of catch-up. He has the Vlads, he has a Medallion, but he'd been holding these for quite a while. 1,300 gold. Is it straight to a Necro book here to enhance his pushing power here, Gods, or does he build more around the fight?
It's very much a physical damage-based Vega lineup, which is where you're not going to get... I feel like BKB is not the way to go. I could see him potentially upgrading into a Solar Crest just for that evasion against Brood, Slardar, Ember. It all helps, but... I think the Necro book is the safe choice. The Necro warriors can help. They can burn down the mana pool of whoever. The vision from a Necro 3 against Brood is nice. So I think the Necro book is the safe item, but the other way to go is to maybe boost up your armor, get something like a Solar Crest for some evasion, but for now, Matama Man just needs to put together that money, which he's still only sitting on 1,700 gold for.
As they get back into the grind, Vega also will go into their own farming groove here as we touch base with no one. He's got what looks like 2 of the 3 components for his Battle Fury nearly complete.
Roche is here.
Roche is here. Vega are first to respond. Mag's already in the pit, going to work. He's got the Medallion, so he gets that party started, but you really need Pasha to show up, and Pasha will blink in. Smoked. Trying to do it undercover here. We look at the vision of the Dire side, and they are in the dark, with maybe a brief glimpse happening around the pit itself. Now that these wolves are going to be able to scout it out, they know what's going down. These wolves will be scouted.
Radiant Vision's great, though, around this pit area.
Yeah. They'll see Kuro just north here.
And the smoke comes back, maybe even in sight.
Rendered in. 5JuNGz showing that they want to be a part of this in some way.
Double BKB on Vega, though.
Pasha's going to get the crush, committed onto the wolves. That forces Fata to look to engage. Shapeshift even coming out. Matama Man not sure to commit onto. Decides to go for the Ember now, but he's going to get chained up. His Shapeshift form leading to not much. Matama Man already down to half-life. Is going to be forced to retreat, and Mag pops that BKB, starts chomping away on the Fata, but he loses a lot of damage from that static link. Fata considers stepping back. A leap and crush comes out as he looks to get a hold of Kuro, and Kuro goes down. The Lina going to be picked off fast. Death Ward committed, looking to go for Fata. Up and above, though, the chase continues. They're going to get the Lycanthrope down, and now they look for the Earthshaker. Mind Control, though, is going to be able to blink away to safety, and Vega are going to have to step back. That top lane is actually pushing into their high ground here, and they'll have to keep it in check. At least the Witch Doctor will. The rest of the team going to go into that Roche Pit and finish what they had started.
No real way to initiate into the double BKBs on Pasha and Mag, and then no one... They can try jump on the Ember if they want to commit the Earthshaker blink, but starting a fight with an Earthshaker blink means you don't have that good counter initiation, and you're not guaranteed a kill. Against Dazzle, there's always that risk of a Grave coming out on a hero that you overcommit for, so there was really no good way for 5JuNGz to take that fight. The vision favored Vega. They had Spiderling scouting. They had a Byron on the high ground as well to give some extra vision. It was good execution from Vega, and they just gave 5JuNGz no way into that fight.
It's even great for Seema here. Not having to worry about the Roche. He gets top lane to farm up. The Glimmer Cape already completed. Probably could start building into an Agnum Scepter. He's already got off some decent death wards here. Could lead to more destruction for the side of the 5JuNGz, but 5JuNGz are the team that's pressured to build up farm. Kuro has already got his 4-staff for his choice of mobility and starts to try to throw together that Agnum Scepter. We looked at Jerix. He's trying to get a 4-staff himself. Very important that they have that much extra assisted mobility, it looks like, here on the side of 5JuNGz. And after completing Vlad's medallion, it looks like the first item from Matama Man is just going to be a Hyperstone for now, but AC looks like still going to be a ways off.
And you can see just by the items, that's 3 4-staffs being built on the 5JuNGz side, with Ogre going for one as well. They know the problem is very much that Vega have all these Swift heroes. You've got Sprint, Blink on Slarty, you've got the Brood in the web who's got max movement speed, you've got Ember Spirit with Fire Remnants that you can't keep up with. You can't kill them because they'll always get away from you, and you can't run from them without going for items like 4-staff. And you look at Fata, he's gone for his Shivers SMY. Again, it's items to boost up his own movement speed and deal with the mobility of the Vega side in the case of the Shivers slow. So they're very much trying to counter the mobility that Vega have as an advantage over them through their item choices.
Vega are going to be able to take down that tier 2 in the top lane as 5JuNGz both push out the mid and the bottom. We'll force out a split rotation from Vega to go on both fronts and keep the lanes pushed back. 5JuNGz just trying to stall things out a bit while Vega do have that Aegis and do have a team fight advantage. They just need to hope that they can get the time necessary to continue to farm up and try to make this Lycan be a problem, try to get Fata to that next level for his Razor. Just don't know if time is going to be on their side or if Vega are going to let them have that opportunity. Fata has a DD rune bottled up, though. We'll hold it for now.
He's kept up his farm. He's the most farmed tier in the game.
He's Fata.
It's crazy. He does want to raise it, too. Like, I've seen it early in the tournament where it's just... You don't expect him to just pull out these items, like playing that mid-Razor kind of in the secondary carry role to Matamba Man, but often ends up as the kind of main carry for his team.
Mag is, he's in dangerous territory here. Farming up these Ancients. Kirill and Mind Control close.
Just the two of them, though, and that's where they don't really want to go and get it. They'll quickly realize, oh, it's a 5-man push coming our way with an Aegis on them, but let's completely ignore that.
Now that will be the last outer tower here for the Dire. So the only thing left for Vega is to start inching into this high ground territory.
Yeah, tricky just to go high ground with their lineup. They've got Brood now with a Solar Crest, which is a good item to have, but I think the AC is going to be maybe an added item that they want. Not to mention the Aegis time, I probably just feel is a little bit on the short side. So they see top, there's a big creep wave pushing out. They see mid, there's a wave at their tier 2 tower. This is definitely the time to get that next item or two, push out your lanes, and play the farming / map control game. There's no reason to risk going for an all-in 5-man push where you can lose a fight and you've got farm on the map that you're missing out on.
Ooh, Matama Man, who had done some deep farming, went into the Radiant Ancient camp, got what he wanted, and then quickly had to peace out, even popping his shapeshift just to make sure he got a clean getaway here. So he'll be out and fine. Fata gets his push top lane, then heads back to base. Curious to see what he will decide to build into here, Gods. 2k gold already saved up. You have the assisted AC to come from Lycan. He's got his own Shivas, so armor is essentially covered. Does he need to build into damage? You go Ags, Refresher. The world is his oyster. But reading out this game,
like more armor. I think Butterfly is actually going to be really good. Some either evasion or more armor. There's not like, and a Butterfly gives you both. It gives you agility, armor, and evasion. So to me, that's a great item for him. They've got a medallion already, which Lycan may eventually upgrade to a Solar Crest. But I definitely see Fata going for a Butterfly next. I don't think there's any other glaringly obvious better items. The Aghanim Scepter is still always solid and viable, but Butterfly just seems so good this game. And it's something he's built in the past as well in this Razor.
Well, Fata will get chained, but Vega want nothing to do with him, as he already has the Eye of the Storm out, and they don't know what could be waiting behind him. Mid lane, though, Matama Man potentially in some trouble as the Broodling is on the chase. Matama Man looking to go for a TP, and obviously Mag is not going to be able to stop him, so Lycan's out, goes back to base, but it's a distraction because top lane Pasha gets a catch under the Ogre, and will take him out. First kill in what feels like at least 5 minutes or so, Gods. It happens at the top lane.
It's been an odd place and hero, but caught in no man's land, I guess.
Kuro going to be caught from Mag here, but there's the fissure. Kuro going to be able to TP and forced. Oh, the coconut right in his face as he TPs away. He almost put himself. If that would have connected, the force would have just been his demise. But good timing for him. He'll make it away.
It's very much a game of the hunters and the hunted right now, with 5JuNGz just trying to avoid getting killed anywhere on the map. They're trying to just get as much farm as they can out of the jungle while avoiding those menacing predators on the Vega side, who have found a pick off here at the Radiant Ancients. Fata in trouble.
He's just going to have to do his best to fight this out, but it's a 3v1, and the Razor's going to go down. 70 seconds, does have buyback.
That's a Radiant ward to protect their Ancients. That is not a spot you'd ever expect to see a Radiant Observer ward at this stage of the game when you're ahead, but they're warding to try and just catch out these sneaky dire farmers.
Matama Man was there before, and maybe when they briefly saw him, they're like, let's put a ward there.
If
he does it again, we can get it. Yeah, but Fata was like, I'll take the farm, and unfortunately, that will be his undoing.
Fata being forced to buy back would be a big dent to his economy, too.
Ooh, there was a chase there for Kuro and Mind Control, but they were just trying to draw attention away from their base. Vega decided to turn around, pull a 180 out, head back towards the 5JuNGz center lane here. No one will try to get as much damage in as possible for this tier 3, but it looks like they still have 20 seconds. Poor Razor will be up, and I don't think a buyback will be forced. Even if the tier 3 is to go down, I think 5JuNGz are going to be happy to stall this one out. They also have Matama Man pushing in from the northern side. He'll be in the high ground here now.
He's a big threat, actually.
He could quickly pull out some serious damage if he'd like. He continues to watch the situation. Vega.
Someone needs to defend. Okay,
could
there's
pull
the
back.
TP.
I think they're inching forward. Like, they may want to go for a cancel of TPs.
Matama Man's already been kind of caught at top, though.
Yep. I'll have to watch both sides here because there's also a chase as 5JuNGz are going to get the catch onto no one here. Gets the Sleight of Fist off. They surround him. They get the full static link here, and this Ember Spirit is to be going down. Oh, still alive with the Grave. Trying to walk away. Still going to get Jerix. He will lose his own life. Fata gets him there, but now Mag comes in. And it's going for the right click. Stun, Laguna, Mag, not too affected by it. But it will be enough for them to kind of make a clean getaway here.
Lycan got out too, so that was important. Slider couldn't keep up. He kept getting his blink cancelled by the Lycan Wolves and the Shapeshift just allowing him to escape, so... Overall, a good hold from 5JuNGz. Killing an Ember for an Ogre and an Earthshaker, and you hold your high ground while Razor was dead for a long time. That's as good as it gets. But Vega's still very much the ones who are going to be the aggressors. They're going to likely grab this next Roshan and Cheese. We've seen so far without... I mean, last time 5JuNGz tried to contest it, but it didn't end well for them. So I'd be surprised if they go for another big Roach play, although maybe they feel like they've got the items now. And with Ember dead, they may look to just sneak on in. They've got AC Vlads. They've got the damage. The question is, will Vega allow it? And I'm sure the answer there is no.
Vega, they have their own AC now. It's en route. Pasha picks it up. And that pretty much negates the AC pickup on the side of JuNGz. You put that together with the weave, you put that together with the amp damage, get all the armor you can. I don't think that's even going to be enough.
Outside, I guess somewhat the aura is negated, but at least for the Lycan himself, he gets that big boost to his own personal armor with the +10 as well, and that added pushing power as well. It's when he in a position like where he was at top lane, that's likely a tier 3 tower down if he had the AC there. He only had the Hyperstone when he went for that push. But Lycan will go scouting out. I imagine he wants to be checking out the pit, or at least trying to keep tabs of where Vega are to make sure they don't sneak their way into the pit. I like this item choice from Mag. He's now got a butterfly of his own against the single target right-click damage of Razor and Lycan. A very helpful item to have.
A sweep around here from Vega. They'll see Roche is back up. Thinking about making a go at it. Lincoln's popped.
Instantly scouted.
Yeah, the Wolf's going to be here to scout it. So obviously 5JuNGz know what's going down here, but do they want to play with fire?
Dazzle's got the gem. I don't know if they've seen the Wolf. The gem's really far back. The Wolf's actually deep in the pit, so...
This Wolf eats this Aegis. I will die laughing here. He's going for it, but no, they're going to pull off. This 5JuNGz are showing themselves from the northern front. Ember Spirit, look at it commit. Stuck on the high ground here. Is able to get out the chains. Makes it difficult for 5JuNGz. What a crush coming out from Pasha here. But Tamaman's going to be forced to shapeshift and run. Mind Control goes to the high ground with an Echo. A Laguna fall from Kuro. Grave keeping him barely alive here. He still can't get out from that high ground. LSA and Kuro's going to finish him off. But look at this. Pasha looking to stand and fight. Him and Mag both trying to muscle down the rest of the 5JuNGz here. It looks like JuNGz is going to be taken care of. And Fata on retreat mode. Mag is going to pull out the ulti, the Unstable Hunger, and start chomping them apart. Fata, though, that move speed will allow him to get back into his base. But Mag not looking to let up. Get the hell back over here. Can't quite slow him down. He might have gone a bit too far. Almost gets caught out. It forces out a buyback from JuNGz. And it looks like he'll do a 180 and retreat.
Yeah, Mag's still with Aegis too, so... Roshan secured. They lose the Ember. That was... Ember, it wasn't so much that he got stuck on the high ground. He chose to be on the high ground. He's like, this is the spot for me this fight. I want to be on this cliff, throwing Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains from the high ground undetected, but it was not a spot that worked out well for him at all. I think Vega would have crushed that fight if Ember wasn't trying to be so cutesy up on the hill. It was a kind of unnecessary play from him. This Ember's not all that fun. He needs to be playing somewhat more defensively, not on the front lanes, which is where he thought the cliff was maybe a good spot, but 5JuNGz knew exactly where he was and just burst him down, even with the Grave coming into play.
But the Vega lineup is quickly become a tri-core kind of a lineup, so if Ember comes up a bit short, both Mag and Pasha were just able to pick up the pace as true right-click damage dealers.
Well, Mag especially has just been dominant on this, but you can see where Vega will justify a first 2 pick of the hero.
Mag tries to creep in. He is the Aegis holder here, so he's happy to dance out in front. Thinking about making a go onto one. Pops his BKB, and good evasion coming out from 5JuNGz using those Force
BKB
Staffs.
Down. And they have a glyph now to negate some of the Rax damage, so
just a tier 3.
And even with an Aegis, you have to be very careful for Mag with BKB on cooldown, because it means if he does get in deep, there's triple Force Staffs, remember. He could get pushed even further into the dire base.
Yeah.
If he's hitting a Rax, you double force him, suddenly he's under the throne and going down twice. So he will think twice about pushing here.
Vega not letting up, though. While they still got this extra life, they will continue to aggress.
Fortunately for Fatih, he can't get his butterfly, which he's trying to sneak the courier to the shop for, but... Doesn't mean, I mean, it's worth giving up buyback for. He'd rather have the butterfly than buyback here, but he'd also doesn't want to risk getting the courier killed, and then he has neither.
They want to fight with this Dazzle Weave ult. They might have to go soon here with already plus 30 armor buff. This will go away shortly. Are they going to commit in? Seems going to get off a stun here. There will be no follow-up. This is just a Dota standoff. Oh, there's going to be the commitment from Pasha. Looking to go for JuNGz right away, and it is a quick 3-shot. Mind Control, though, goes for no one. No one's going to get saved with the Grave. Sleight of Fist off. He's got to make it out from the base, though. Is able to get out. Lycan is on chase, trying to grab the supports, but deep in the base. Mag is on pursuit. Pasha's getting chased down from Fata. We go back to the outside, and you're going to see the Witch Doctor go down, and Matama Man quickly retreating after getting that kill.
They're holding their Raxes here. There's no actual focus on their structures, and...
Oh, Pasha heals right back up, gets the assisted cheese, and now Matama Man's the one in trouble, but there's the Force coming into play. Gets him a bit out, but oh, they're going to be able to grab him here. There's going to be a big crush, and Kuro's going to be the follow-up. 3 down from 5JuNGz now. Lycan has a buyback. He might need to use it here. Otherwise, this is definitely a Rax down.
Yeah, the big struggle for 5JuNGz is getting a good static link off. Like, twice in that fight, Fata got the static link on the Brood, but the Brood in the web just outruns Fata and then gets out of it. So steals maybe 30 to 50 damage. Doesn't get that big 150-ish damage steal that he really would love.
Mag gets stunned up
this
here.
This time around, he will get it. This is what he's looking for.
Oh, Matama Man, who just bought back, goes right in, gets stunned, gets killed. A dieback for the Lycan here. 5JuNGz in a bit of desperation mode as they're just trying to get Vega out from their homestead. Solo gonna get knocked down. Nicely set up for mind control here, but he still gets the grave off. Meanwhile, Pasha is able to clear out. Fata's gonna get taken care of. Mind control gets the blow onto Dazzle, but it looks like he's gonna lose his own life here. Turns back for Pasha. Crush is actually gonna miss. Mind control though. 2 go down, still gets off a finisher, and somehow gets the kill. Mind control forces away, and he is TPing back to base. What a play there at the end from mind control, but as stylish as it was, the damage had still been done from Vega. They cleared out one set of racks, and Mag is here trying to just whittle down this tier 3.
Mind controlled some sick plays, but that was everything just went right for mind control. The Slider had a blink finishing blow, and he blinked into the Earthshaker totem stun, but still a Rax claim, still Vega winning that fight handily, getting kills on all the core heroes. It was a team wipe in the end, and we find ourselves in a really tough spot for 5JuNGz to turn this game around. The Rax claimed is one big part of it, but more than anything is just the gold swing, where it was buybacks being used recently from 5JuNGz and kills going the way of Brood, Slider, Ember Spirit. These heroes now picking up their next level of items. The data list comes out for Ember Spirit. Slider's got 2.5k. Brood's got over $5,000.
Whew. I would say it feels like the situation from last game, but 5JuNGz managed to turn that one around. This one, though, I'm not looking at as scary a Matama Man. You know, last game he was on the Ember and had the huge, serious sleight of fist of a defense. And, you know, even for Fata, though he has tremendous farm on his Razor, just being a Razor at this point in the game, and the mention of the static link not working out, it just proves to be a bit difficult, being that kind of single target right-click hero.
He needs to combo with Earthshaker or Ogre to make sure he's static linking whoever's getting stunned. The problem is when Brood BKBs. Brood has run in with BKB, and Fata's like, well, I'll static link him. He's BKB'd, and I can still leech his damage, but they can't stun him. So to me, it's not worth using the static link except on a stun target. Ideally, it's the Brood, but even if it's the Slider, it's still worthwhile just to make sure you get as much damage as possible out onto the Razor. You can't win a fight if you're 5JuNGz without over 100 plus damage stolen on the Razor, at least in my mind.
And if you're on the side of Vega here, who have already smoked up and gone on the move, so this could answer the question I was just about to pose, but with this much of an advantage now, is it them to just quickly try to put a lid on this game, or do they play it slow and wait out for the Roche?
They know some of these buybacks are on cooldown. They also know that heroes like Razor do not have buyback since buying the Butterfly, and he didn't buy back for that last defense. Like, they lost Elena Rax because he had no buyback, so I think they feel really confident about fighting now. And they've also got
though on Mag. Did we already talk about that? You got a Butterfly, but
he just picked it up. Yeah,
he's got an MKB already.
He may not have buyback, but he knows he's got the Dazzle backing him up. The armor game, by the way, gets even crazier. Solo's now got an Ag Scepter.
Oh my goodness! So they're gonna let it tick. Already at plus 41 for Pasha here. These guys are behemoths. I don't know if 5JuNGz are going to be able to penetrate the resilience here. Vega
70 plus armor on Brood. And now it's gone.
Easily steps back and away from the static link. 5JuNGz are just trying to make this as difficult of a process as possible for Vega to invade. But this tier 3 left with very little life. Rax soon to be exposed. Forced forward from Fata. Puts him into trouble and a force defensively out from trouble, and he's going to be fine. But Matama Man and Mind Control get caught in a beautiful cast coming out from Seema.
Mag needs to be careful. He's got no BKB in the front lines.
He's dancing around here under his webs, but they do see him. Looks like they're going to take their tier 3, but have yet to really push in for these racks.
And it's the Axe Laguna Blade you really have to worry about. There's a lot of burst damage there. Even when his BKB comes back up in 10 seconds. Very vulnerable. To combine that with some... the physical damage is being so heavily negated, which is where the BKBs are close to invulnerability.
Mind Control is looking for this Echo here, but his blink keeps getting canceled. Mag annihilated, but that Grave, there's going to be the Echo. It's onto no one in solo here, but a Death Ward is going to be the response from Seema, and he is under the Glimmer, and it is doing work. Oh no! Fata's gonna be going down. It's a triple kill for no one.
You can take out the Brood, but you've got an Aghanim's Death Ward coming out from Seema the Slayer. There's just too many threats. It's not a tri-core lineup anymore, Dakota. This is a full quad core out of Vega when you throw in the Witch Doctor with an Aghanim's Glimmer.
And a stellar defensive support in this Aghanim's Dazzle, too. It's all 5 Vega members coming in with everything.
Get the gem! Come on, Ember! So no one's like, all right, I'll drop my wand. They hold the racks, but it was a double buyback from Lina and Ray. Again, they're not gaining ground on the 5JuNGz side. It's a big victory for Vega.
Yeah.
You can't call that a win, holding your lane of racks when it cost you 2 buybacks and you lost, I think, 4, maybe even 5 there. There's the Ogre, I'm not quite sure if he went down or not, but it was easily a victory for Vega.
Vega now can step back while 5JuNGz have to deal with this top lane recovery and the pressure to come in. Vega can probably wait for everyone to come back.
Enough time's gone by that
Roche, yeah,
10 seconds. So that was a good push to go for because Roshan's not coming up that soon when they went for it. They know that buybacks were limited. Razor and Lina only got buybacks through the kills they got in the fight onto core heroes like the Brood, but now with Roche respawning, it's going to be, okay, they have no buybacks. We'll have Aegis and Cheese, and they'll still have time to push before the buybacks even come online.
And there they go. Pasha will be first in to scout it out. The nearby Haste Rune will be picked up there from no one, and Pasha will start to go to work. And I don't think there'll be any sort of easy response here for 5JuNGz. Look how fast he goes. Soul even preemptively dishing out the defensive weave just to be safe. And 5JuNGz are toying with engaging.
If they lose Roshan, it might be game over. So they decide this is the time to fight.
If they go in, though, they're going to have so much armor by the time they commit. Roche goes down. Aegis is going to be picked up, and 5JuNGz are in it to win it. If they lose this one, the game will be over. No one on the outskirt, almost getting caught out. Echo comes out from mind control. Seema the Slayer might be in trouble, but he gets a Glimmer still off, and he's going to get the Grave from Solo. Looks like he will still get dropped, but he's going to get every inch of Death Ward out that he can, and it looks like it'll be enough to help finish off with Tama Man. No one. Barely able to etch out from the wrath of that lycanthrope.
They want to end this game now. They know there's no buybacks. Fata barely escaping to the high ground. That Slaughter Blink close to catching him up. I think that fight only went kind of bad for 5JuNGz because the weave wore off as they engaged. It was like, as they engaged, the weave had just went off. So there was no plus 50, 60 armor onto the entire Vega side. And if they had the weave when that fight happened, it was just like a complete domination. But here we go. Bottom lane, they're breaching. No Echo Slam for 1 minute.
No Echo Slam, no Ogre, no Lycanthrope, no Kuro Lina here for this fight. Fata, got to be one of the lone cores to do it here. Mind control without that Echo, that's the big, big defensive tool that they're not going to be able to reach for. And looks like Fata will get caught out. He will go down here, and this could be the beginning of the end. Mind control is able to get off a slick sidestep there, but this tier 3 is going down, and these racks are going to be soon to follow, and Vega on the verge of tying this series up 1-1.
Yeah, a really strong bounce back coming from the CIS squad, and at this point, they should be able to get the last lane of racks, or even the throne if they want. There's a couple respawns. It's only the Razor dead soon, but even if they manage to push Vega back with these 4 heroes, the comeback potential just isn't there, and it is going to be mega creeps.
Yeah, they're going to go out fighting. Their heads could very well be in game number 3, but 5JuNGz are going to see any sort of small opportunity to take this game back. They will continue to fight on. Kuro, whoa, clutch stun onto no one. Will rid of his Aegis here.
You can get a stun on respawn.
Goes out, Sleight of Fist, still connects with the LSA. There's going to be the Echo and Laguna, and they will take the Ember Spirit down. He's out 100 seconds, no buyback.
Your only play is to fight 5-man now. I don't think there's some games, majority of games where Mega Creeps have been lost in the next minute because it's the team, they get Mega Creeped and they go for an all-in push and they throw them. There's only been, I think, like 2 or 3 games in the history of Dota where a team has been Mega Creeped and then after 5 minutes they win the game. There was one crazy game where a team, I think it was Vici Gaming, beat Mega Creeps after being down for 15 minutes. But
oh, yeah.
That is unheard of. It's always the instant counter push, and this lineup does not last long. It doesn't last at all against Mega Creep. So they've got to go all in now. Matumba Man's trying to push out mid and probably just calling his teammates like, come meet me mid lane. We've got to get here soon.
He hasn't even made it to the river yet, though.
No, it's too...
Pasha's like, hi, how's it going? Boom, bang, bong.
Oh, not that much damage from Pasha,
Oh,
actually.
BKB is going to be popped from both sides. JerAx is just going to have to give Bloodlust and just club him the old-fashioned way. But it's not enough to bring down Matama Man here. Pasha's going to be forced to crush and try to quickly sprint out from trouble. It looks like he'll be able to make it away.
That's that. I think they can't fight the Mega Creeps. They haven't got the right heroes for it, or the right farm in the case of the Lycan. If Lycan had 6 slots of items and the right kind of items to fight Mega Creeps with, maybe different story, but not with these heroes.
Just too big and too bad at this point.
And even Fata, he's got no items to deal with waves of creeps. Like Shivers.
Oh, see you later, JerAx. Yeah. Pasha comes back for vengeance and bops him on down.
Shivers Plasma Field doesn't cut it. You need a Mjolnir, you need like ways to actually cleave down creeps through attacking. You need lifesteal plus Mjolnir plus all kinds of crazy stuff, and no one's got the items. I'm surprised they haven't called GG. Like you say, their head is probably in game 3 at the moment.
Now it's just the throne standing between Vega and getting that 1-1 in the series. 5JuNGz will just continue to force Vega to sweat out every inch of this game.
Yeah.
If you want our throne, you're going to have to take it down.
And there's 2 buybacks from Vega, which is like if they lose a fight for whatever reason, they have those.
Shadow Blade in, mind control. Gets the fissure. He's going to commit the echo even to lock down Pasha. He will, trying to get him before BKB will come out, and they get him down. Does he risk buying back and TPing in to help finish out this game? I don't know. Vega forced to step back. No one looking to re-engage, but Mag has helped to move in and clearly take out Fata. No one with a double kill with a sleight of fist, and that will be the towel thrown in from 5JuNGz. This series now going to be tied up 1-1.
All right, we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned BO3 from here on out, and 2 very even-looking teams. If anything, like looking at the 2 games, it almost feels like in some ways Vega have been a bit more solid, because game 1 it was very much they were playing from behind and looked to be in a awful position. They pulled it back, forced a close game, which looked like it was pretty much back and forth, could have gone either way. It was like a few little minor details, like when the Beastmaster got the double roar up before he got stunned, that just decided the game. This time around, Vega get ahead and they just don't look back. To me, Vega have the fact they won their game, which they had control of in such convincing fashion, really speaks to their current form. And 5JuNGz have to be a bit nervous going to game number 3.
We have a Dota series on our hands, because I have to say, from what I've seen so far, no team has been the clear powerhouse squad to take over the other. Both of them showing a lot of resilience here, but we have a full best of 5 for you folks, and we're just 1-1. So technically, I guess, best of 5 now becomes a best of 3. I'm Kyle Guy for Beyond the Summit. That's Gods. We'll be back in a few moments with the Nanyang EU Qualifier Grand Final matchup of Vega versus 5JuNGz.